President Trump said Monday he is reimposing the U.S. blockade on Iranian shipping, escalating a standoff over control of the strategic Strait of Hormuz. His comments came after the U.S. launched additional strikes against Iran, which defied American demands that it publicly declare the strait open and instead close the waterway. Oil prices jumped, with Brent crude trading more than 8% higher. Speaking later in a radio interview with Hugh Hewitt, Trump said U.S. forces would resume strikes against Iran on Monday. "We're going to hit them very hard tonight, and we're going to hit them hard tomorrow. And there's not a damn thing they can do about it." Trump asserted that the strait remains open under American protection and said the U.S. would charge 20% of every cargo shipment as compensation for its costs. He didn't detail how that would work, but said procedures would be formulated immediately. In a statement posted later on social media, U.S. Central Command A man who was ordered to leave the U.S. was shot and killed in his car in Maine on Monday by an agent with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Maine Senator Angus King said, marking the second time in a week that ICE officers have used deadly force in the U.S. An immigrant rights group said the man killed in the shooting was Colombian. King was briefed on the shooting in Biddeford, Maine, by Homeland Security Secretary Markwayne Mullin. The senator said during a news conference in Portland before catching a flight to Washington. He said the deceased man had been given an order to leave the U.S. and was the target of an arrest warrant based on his immigration status. He was in a vehicle, pulled out in the vehicle, and the term the secretary used was weaponize the vehicle, King told reporters. He was shot by an ICE agent. "What I said to the secretary was we want a full, transparent, and open investigation." Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum are sharing emotional tributes to their Jurassic Park co-star Sam Neill. The actors both honored Neill on July 13th after the actor's family confirmed his sudden and unexpected death. "Sam was my beloved lifetime friend. He showed me the depths of loyalty, protectiveness, and love, always with the driest of wit," Dern said in a statement shared with USA Today. "He was a true and noble gentleman, wrapped up in my dream leading man. I will love you forever, Dr. Alan Grant." Start the day smarter. Get all the news you need in your inbox. Just weeks after the U.S. and Iran struck a temporary agreement to ease tensions, the two countries appear to be heading back toward open conflict. The United States launched a new round of military strikes against Iran in recent days, targeting sites tied to Tehran's military capabilities and its ability to threaten commercial traffic in the Strait of Hormuz. President Donald Trump declared the ceasefire effectively over and announced the U.S. was reinstating a naval blockade after Iran renewed attacks in the region. U.S. Central Command said the latest operation began at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on July 12th and was aimed at weakening Iran's ability to target civilian and commercial ships moving through the strategic waterway, one of the world's most important routes for oil shipments. Start the day smarter. Darlene Graham Nordun, Lindsey Graham's younger sister and close confidant, will serve the remainder of the late senator's term in Washington. It's my honor to ask his little sister Darlene Graham to finish his work for him now.
Earlier this week, Lebanese residents reportedly received several text messages from a sender encouraging what was described as a historic conversation between Lebanese citizens and Israelis. The messages also contained an invitation to a Zoom conference and asked Lebanese residents to submit questions and personal information ahead of the event. These text messages have raised concerns about their purpose, what information they are collecting, and how the senders obtained the recipients' contact information in the first place. They are also controversial because communication between Lebanese citizens and Israelis has historically been restricted under Lebanon's boycott law enacted in the 1950s. Critics have also pointed to previous instances in which Israel allegedly used anonymous text messages during periods of conflict to communicate with people in Lebanon. So what is the purpose of these text messages? Are they intended to gauge public opinion, collect personal information, or gather data? Or could they be used to create material that could later be used for blackmail? Given the legal restrictions surrounding communication between these two groups, these questions have become a source of concern. Reports from Gaza also describe a devastating incident involving a 23-year-old woman, Diana Abu Oda, and her 1-year-old daughter, Sawar. According to those reports, families sheltering in the Al-Mawasi area of Khan Yunis received phone calls from individuals identifying themselves as members of the Israeli military, warning them that the area would be bombed and instructing them to evacuate within 7 minutes. According to witnesses, the bombing began less than a minute after the warnings were issued. As Diana fled while carrying her daughter, an explosion reportedly struck from behind. The blast allegedly severed Diana's body in half and inflicted catastrophic injuries on her daughter, including a severe head wound. Sawar, who was reportedly just days away from her first birthday, later died from her injuries. A relative who witnessed the strike described seeing the child lying on the ground while her mother was still holding her. He said the blast had torn the mother's body apart and left the child with devastating injuries. He described the scene as beyond anything he could have imagined.